Hello everyone, today we're going to show how to connect the Arduino Mega 2560 with our MT4 robotic arm using the UART communication. So MT4 right here is our 4-axis metal robotic arm, and the Arduino Mega 2560 is a microcontroller board that has 4 UART ports, which allow us to communicate with the arm. So let's first start with the connection between them. As we could see here, we get the pin out for Mega board, and we're going to use the default 01, which corresponds to 18 and 19 for the digital pin. And for the robotic arm controller, we have the 0 interface, ground, RX, TX, and 5Z. For UART communication, we know that RX stands for receiver, TX stands for transmitter. It's important to note that the RX and TX labels are with respect to the device itself. So RX from one device should go to TX on the other, and vice versa. And the VCC and ground is just connected to the 5V and ground on Arduino. So let's start the connection. We will get the jumper wires. We need 4 of them, so we could use 4 different colors. So we're using male to female, where the female side will go to the robotic arm controller and the male side will go to the Arduino. So let's do the Arduino connection first. We're gonna find 5V. We can use the orange wire. Then we could use the one next to it, which is ground, connected. Next, we will try to find 18 and 19. 18 is TX1, 19 is RX1. So we have green for TX on the Arduino, blue for RX on the Arduino. So now let's connect the robotic arm serial interface. So let's find the 5V, which is orange. Let's go to 5V right here. And for ground, that's yellow. Gonna go to ground and plug in. Then the rest too, we have to make sure that we connect to the correct ports, because green is TX on Arduino. That means it's gonna connect to RX in the controller. And on the other hand, we have blue as RX on the Arduino. That's gonna go to TX in the controller. Okay, now we're done with the connection between the Arduino board and the controller. The last thing we need is to connect the robotic arm with its controller. That we're gonna use the IDC cable and the communication in the interface right here. We're gonna see it's powered on. Okay, so the one last thing we need to check before we actually start the communication and programming is we need to check if the extender box is in UART mode. And how do we check? We could press down twice and go to the communication setting. We go to OK, and we see that number 4 is UART. We're currently in UART. We can also again confirm by clicking OK, which will restart the extender box, and see UART's little symbol on the top with the baud rate showing on the screen. Okay, now we're 100% done with the hardware connection. Let's go to the software part. Okay, so for today, instead of using Arduino IDE, we're gonna use something called WLKATA BlockFactory, which is a software that allows us to use Blockly for Arduino programming. Now we see the entire interface. Okay, so let's connect the Arduino to the computer. We have the USB cable, one side to the Arduino, one side to the computer. And the other side on the computer. Now, you can see that on the top right, COM5 appeared. That's because they automatically recognized the Arduino. Okay, now we see that the COM5 just popped up on the right corner. We're gonna start writing our program. Inside MT4, we're gonna have the UART communication that's gonna initialize the communication. Next, we need to drag the reset axis. That's gonna have the 4-axis homing, which is required every time it's powered on. Next, we're gonna have to put this statement or block because homing might take some time. And we need to check and make sure the robotic arm is in idle state and it's okay to execute the next instruction. Then we could try some position blocking, which is we have the robotic arm move to an absolute position in Cartesian mode, x192, y0, and z230. The last part, the most important part, is we have to put everything in the setup. Otherwise, everything outside of setup will run continuously on Arduino. So, let's click Upload. Okay, so now it's stopped because it's in the setup. So how do we have it run again? We could click or press this white button on the Arduino, which is the reset button. It will reset the program and have it run from the beginning, which is the setup. So let's press it. It will start homing and go to the correspond Cartesian position again. This is all for this tutorial. Thank you very much for watching and see you in the next video.